Live streaming is on.
Oh, shit. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sons and Daughters of Liberty. Hope you guys are all enjoying your New Year's Eves and your festivities. Before we get too far in, it's still fairly early. I know I got a little late start. But for those of you, all of you out there partying, drinking like I'm going to be safe, have a designated driver. Because we all want to see and hear from you in 2022. Happy New Year, Happy New Year's Eve, Free Spirit Press, prepping and news. And as you guys all know, I occasionally do. I usually try to do on the holidays. Try to do something special, a special podcast. And truthfully, I'd much rather be here with you guys, spending time with you, than out and about. And we do have a lot of things to talk about. And if you guys would like to call in or join, let me know in chat. And I'm more than happy to share the number and links. I've removed them from the discussions for the time being, due to all the troll call-ins we were getting and the trolls in the chat. So unfortunately, I was not able to change the number, so we still might have to deal with that a little bit here and there, but I'll be on top of it for the most part until I get too intoxicated to stay on top of it. But it's been a year, hasn't it, guys? I mean, it pretty much all started off with a bang. And, with the high inflation, and the never-ending gift of COVID, these rich fucks want to make all their money. It just seems to be the pandemic that's not going to go away, as we found out this week. Biden's little deal in, what was it, 137 billion or million to a company to make the test, but we won't be able to get the test till 2023. So as we can see, he's going to milk this out through the rest of his administration. But you got to admit, one of the best things to come out of this year was Let's Go Brandon and fuck Joe Biden. Gotta love it. Best thing to come out of this year. Honestly. Almost every sporting event. Granted, it started at a NASCAR event. And, of course, now the irony of the situation. The driver that won, when they start, because his name was Brandon, and the chant, how they covered it up because it was fuck Joe Biden. To where they said, oh, see, they're chanting for you, let's go Brandon. That's how it got started. But the irony of it all, dude's got a sponsor for next year. LGB coin. Let's go or LBG coin. Oh, what is it? LGB, yeah, coin, a cryptocurrency, has agreed to sponsor. And well, they released it. I think it was yesterday. And now NASCAR is saying, "Oh, we didn't approve that yet." So they're arguing back. The team saying, "Yes, they did. That's why we came out and aired their little advertisements for it." I think it's funny. I don't think it's funny. I think it's sad. If NASCAR is going to play politics, they better get ready to lose a lot of fans. We're tired of it. NASCAR should better take a page out of football, basketball. The fans don't want that shit. If you're going to tell that team they cannot have that sponsor, then that will be the end of NASCAR. There's a few, but there is one legit FJB crypto coin. And all the proceeds that are made from that coin, cryptocurrency coin, actually is being given to the vets. We actually ended up doing a little research on that because people were spamming it and stuff, and come to find out the creator of that coin, even though there's some fakes out there, is taking the proceeds and stuff and giving them back to the vets and homeless vets. So kudos to them. Fuck Joe Biden. Great crypto coin. Because all he's done is fuck us. Ever since he took his first few days in office, his first few executive orders in 2021 was to screw the American people, and he's not stopped screwing us since. And of course, we have a worthless Congress who won't even bring articles of impeachment up. But yeah, we're going to wait till we get a red wave. And you're going to do nothing. By then, the damage has been done. And it's not like the man's going to ever get elected again. He's got his own people turning on him. People are tired of it. But that's kind of how our year started. New president, new administration comes in, they start sticking it to the people. Next thing you know, we got shortages. All because somebody wants to run his mouth and make threats. Because he doesn't have the balls to put pen to paper and try to make an executive order out of it because he knows it's unconstitutional, it won't fly. Not even the House would make legislation on mandates. That should tell everybody something right there. But, now we're going to push it off to the state levels. Because we got places like New York who just want straight Nazism. They're playing out World War II like they're Hitler. And the cops are acting like SS by going around asking children for their paperwork. When they should be out there protecting a 75 or 80-year-old man who got punched out, then kicked while on the ground, not a cop in sight. Dude just walks right back out. Oh, we're looking for this man who punched out and kicked and beat this elderly man. Well, maybe if you weren't in the restaurants harassing and bullying kids, you might have been there to stop that. You might have actually been on the streets doing your jobs and bringing the crime rate down. But no, you rather act like you're cosplaying SS officers and intimidating the citizens, the people that you supposedly have sworn oath to serve and protect. The only thing you're serving is your politicians. because you definitely ain't serving the New Yorkers. You guys don't even deserve to wear that badge. But this year did start out with a bang. Like many of us predicted was going to happen. We warned people, don't go. January 6th, don't go to the inauguration. It's a setup. Sure as shit. We got that being under a probe, being investigated by Congress. The funny thing is, the arrests that have been made aren't the ones we've seen on the bullhorns and megaphones, the ones that were somehow in Kevlar, carrying flags, which you couldn't have happened. Any of us and any streamer out there will sit there and tell you, if you went to inaugurations or events in DC, the checkpoints you got to go through, you can't even get in with a backpack or a selfie stick or an umbrella, as Hollywood stinks pointed out, or Hollywood hates us pointed out. And she was there. She should know. It is funny. People only believe what they see and hear, as was proven this year. How many people believed that Kyle Rittenhouse was a young punk that brought a gun across state lines? Why? Because the mainstream media said he did. And that was the beauty of it, being so publicized and televised. We got to see the mainstream media and catch them in every lie that they stated. They had that boy convicted and tried in the press before he even seen a day in court. But then again, we also seen how much the mainstream media has been the whole cause behind most of these riots through their lies. They've caused more destruction than what the rioters and violent protesters have caused because of their lies. But yet, never held accountable. Never will be. It's a shame. That we now live in this day and age and we still can't get our mainstream media in check and under control. We still got people out there blindly watching them and believing everything they say. And they're catered to on social media platforms. Even when they're caught lying, their shit don't get taken down. It's a joke. And it's only going to get worse as 22 comes around and, we re-enter the congressional election cycle for our houses and senates. So we got that to look forward to next year. But it's, I don't know. Take this year with a grain of salt. It's been a good year for me up until the last month. I'm not complaining. We've watched so much crap unfold this year between the shortages, which were basically created through Biden and his administration and the media, and these certain states where just happen to be more blue aligned than anything, and they want to enforce unconstitutional laws and rules that aren't even laws yet. Hurt the workforce. There, we know we pay for it in the shortages. Then prices of things went up. Then we get hit with inflation, and that inflation's only going to keep going up as we enter to 2022. So it's another bad thing to look forward to 2022. But you can see we've got a few bad spots already, and we're still several hours away from 2022. And we still got to have Biden threatening mandates. Happy New Year's, Daggers. But the ball keeps rolling, so it's just been, when we had the debacle in Afghanistan, 13 lives lost that shouldn't have been lost. Because we have a commander-in-chief that's in office that's inept to be a commander-in-chief, but our Senate don't get it, our House don't get it. Of course, we have Pelosi, she's almost worse than Biden when it comes to being able to speak an actual sentence. Where's their physicals and mental checks? They're unfit to be in office. I am doing well, Daggers. We still got a bunch of people that refuse to go back to work. That's been plaguing our workforces all year. No one wants to work. They're expecting hand-me-outs from the government, which ain't coming. I don't get it. I know there's still a few clauses left out there where, you can hit it under mental health. I'm too scared to go back to work. You guys get your checks. I get it. That's you just being lazy and abusing the system. But yet this year we've seen a lot of positives. We've seen a lot more people start standing up, start speaking out. That's what I'm taking from this year. Seeing a lot more people start standing up locally, standing up to their school boards. It's a little late. It was a little late. You should have been done doing that for a long time ago. But it's a start. It starts by seeing a victory for a regular, everyday citizen who's never once desired to be in politics, a common truck driver, win an election seat in New York, unseating a popular long-term Democrat. And no, they did not like that one bit. But it was great to see. Because that's what our founding fathers founded this country on. That no matter what walk of life you're in, how poor you are, you have a right to run for an election, run for a seat in Congress or at your state level, or become a mayor, a governor, even the president, was not ever supposed to be these rich, multi-millionaire people being elected into these positions. That is not what our founding fathers ever wanted. They wanted this country to be always controlled by we the people, the everyday citizens. Everyday backbone of this country. You know, I've followed a few things on Twitter today. Kind of kept my mouth shut on most of it. Wasn't in the mood to get into skirmishes and arguments with people. Especially for people that don't even live in this country. It's kind of pathetic. I have little patience for that, because if I would be talking about their country, never been there, but only seen what's the news promotes or projects, I'd be kind of wrong. You know, it's like I don't talk much about what happens in Brazil, even though I've got more insight about that country than most people. I have family down there, since my mom is from Brazil. So, you know, yeah. And first 10 years, well, about the first 13 years of my life, I lived back and forth. So I got to experience socialism at its finest. I also got to experience different social class. I didn't like it. Didn't like what I saw. Didn't like having maids cook, clean our houses. You know, because I already had the American experience. You know, I was brought up to work for the things you want. That nothing in life's free. And it is true. You value the things you work for more than the things that are given to you. I mean, there's a few differentials in that. You know, there's some things, that might have been given to you that have some real sentimental value. Something that might have been passed down. That's different. Somebody gives you a car, you don't care. You're probably going to expect, somebody's just going to be another one. I had to work for my first car. I've had to actually work for every vehicle I've owned. Mom and Dad did not pay for it. And when I got in a little trouble as a kid and had to actually do some county time, I didn't make payments on that vehicle. My dad did. You know what? When I got out, I didn't have a vehicle. It's like he said, well, it's a hard knocks life. There's consequences. He's like, well, you could pay me the 6 months you're behind, or I'm going to trade it in because I need a new car. And he traded it in. So I had to work twice as hard to get another vehicle. And actions have consequences. I made some bad choices. And he wanted to make sure I learned that those choices have consequences. Tell you what, never lost another vehicle after that. By the time I was 20, I had AAA credit. I could go get a loan for no matter how much. Why? Because I quickly learned that it is much better to own that title and deed than the bank. And I'd work my ass off to make sure I made extra payments each month to pay them off quicker. It only took one hard lesson. Now I know most parents would have just gave that car back. What made it pay it back? I grew up with a bunch of people like that. I don't believe in getting yourself in debt. Yeah, I'm kind of in debt right now. Why? This year I made investments for my future. I made investments to a house that one day will be mine. I had the roof replaced, having to go all metal roof put on my parents' house that one day will be mine. So that's a future investment that I thought at this time I've got a good job. I'll have my Suburban paid off the end of this year or next year. Perfect time to make an investment for my future. Like I said, I've had a good year. Paid for it. I've worked a lot of hours. I mean, when it's all said and done, when I clocked out last week for our Christmas shutdown, just a little over 500 hours in overtime I put in this year. Then I've also made a bunch of changes as this year went on. Moved. So got my own place for the time being, which is probably going to be shortly lived. Mainly because, it takes two, and now there's no longer two in this little adventure of mine that was fun while it lasted. But I can't keep doing a almost 2-hour commute and justify having this place. And I can crash back at the parents' house for about a month and get my own place someplace closer within reasonable driving distance. Which sucks. I kind of like the area I'm in. It's been a nice change of pace, but it's going to be a new year, so out with the old, in with the new. Get out of this place. That kind of remind me of a person. And again, I don't know. I haven't fully made up my mind on that one yet. I like this spot. I like the area. It's not where I really want to be, but we don't get things we want all the time, and I'm not about the wants, it's about the needs. The wants can come when there's time and place for it. Which is, truthfully a lot of people's problem in this day and age. They focus on their wants and not the needs. If anything, in COVID, that's proven the point right there. This year with the shortages. Although a lot of people learned their lesson after the lockdowns and stuff. They learned, hey, we weren't joking about having stuff, a little stockpile of stuff to get you by for a month or so. extra toilet paper. We were the ones that got the last laugh out of that one in 2019 and 2020. But we did see it rear its ugly little head in 2021. With all the shortages and stuff. Many of us, we talked about that the previous year, that we were going to see those things. When you shut down your workforce for some states, like my state, it's almost 3 months. I was lucky. I was able to work those through the whole thing. I had 3 whole days off. But most people didn't. They were solely reliant on, are we going to get a stimulus package? I'm so glad we're done with those. But unfortunately, it spoiled a lot of people. They got a taste of getting stuff for free, thinking their government's going to save them every trip. No. See, our government likes to get you addicted on things, then yank it right out from under you. They give you that false security and a false illusion that they're there for you. Then when you really need them, they're not there for you. They're there to take your shit. Oh, we got to take that out of your tax returns because you got the $600 at the end of the year. That's coming out of your taxes for 2001, which was your 2020 file return. So a lot of people end up thinking they're going to have these big returns, and that last stimulus you got came right out of your 2020 returns. Nothing in this life's free, guys. They promise a good game. They speak a good game, but it's not free. They've printed so much money off this year that our dollar ain't worth anything, really. And we've seen a lot of people start jumping on the cryptocurrencies. I don't fault them. It's not my thing. I really don't have the time that's required to do that. And I can't justify spending what little extra money I have, backup money, because that's what it is. It's backup money for the following month. Because you never know when something's going to come up and you need that little extra money. So I can't justify it by playing around with some cryptocurrency that is more volatile than the stock market. But there's some people out there this year made some good money off the crypto. They got lucky. I'm not going to tell you what you do with your money, especially in this day and age. If you think you can go make a few extra bucks, do it. I would rather invest in something solid that I can hold than something that's illusionary. But you can try and convert it over to American dollars, and that's where the lull of it is. I can get into this, hopefully it goes up, and I get in, get out, turn it over. I get it. It's enticing, but not enticing enough for me. My ex was good at it. She was making over $7,500 a month until everything started going up and down, and not making any gains. Then she lost. Like I said. But the gains that she made Before all that, Bitcoin made its big jump. She cashed out for over 63,000. Some people are lucky, some people are not. I know my luck, so not an area I will go down. But it is an avenue for you guys. Because we've reached that stage where we have to start using the things that are accessible to us. And like I said, my toolbox is wide open right now. As things keep going farther south and south, and things keep spiraling in the wrong direction like they have been throughout this whole year. We still got 3 more years of this. No, 2 more years since we're almost on 2022 of this. It's time that we start preparing ourselves and knowing our skills, our skill sets. Because we see what's happened this year in Australia, Germany, Netherlands, Britain, Austria. We see what's happening in our very own country in states like New York, Chicago, California. I mean, as we speak right now, what's going on? This unpredictable weather, which they're screaming climate change on this. Not even going there. It's pointless. If you don't know climate change, what they call climate change is a joke by now. All I got to tell you is follow the money. Follow the money to the scientists and these big corporate scientists that are getting all of this money from the government. Now go look to the scientists that are barely scratching by, and look at the difference between the sciences. The difference of opinions and facts. If a corporation is invested into a scientific research group, 99.9% of the time, what comes out of their scientific mouths is lies that only benefit the corporations that's dumping the money into it and the political agenda at hand. And it's like, oh, we need all these electric cars built. And as we finally decided to actually do some research on it this year, we found out. Let's talk about something that is truly not green at all. The process, the amount of resources it takes to make these batteries and these electronics, and let's not forget the chip shortage issue this year. The natural resources that they got to rape to make these things and the environmental impact that it has, it is not even green by what they call green. They're lying to you. Do the research. Then if you look, we're not even capable of having that many electric cars in any city. It is called a national blackout. Maybe they should focus a lot of that attention on our electric grid. I know. Those are the things that sound like common sense things. We don't live in a age of common sense anymore. We live in a day and age where if you quote something that Thomas Paine wrote and published, you're subject to get suspended, blocked, banned, put on timeout, put in Facebook jail, have your posts removed, all because you quoted a founding fathers quote. Yeah, there was an interesting video being shared on Twitter. It was a TikTok video, actually, where this chick asks, "How did the Gen Xers survive all the stuff we got going on now?" Well, it's quite simple. We didn't have internet. We didn't have social media. We spent our time outside. We spent our times working in the garage, playing outdoors, going camping, fishing. We didn't spend it in front of a screen or in front of a cell phone. Well, what about the racial tensions and all that? All of our schools were integrated. You know what we could do back then that you can't do now? We could go to school in our trucks with our gun racks, with a shotgun and our rifle in the gun rack. Nobody said boo. In fact, a lot of schools had gun courses, shooting competitions. See how far we've gotten? Yes, I think, truthfully, the downfall of society has been the internet and social media. Yes, it's brought lots of freedoms. It's connected a lot of people, but it's been used as a tool to manipulate, to divide, and conquer every nation. It's been used in probably one of the biggest psychological warfare operations ever known to mankind. And it's only going to get worse with the advancement of technology, with the advancement of these decentralized platforms, the introduction of AI, more powerful computers, the metaverse, the introduction to VR, virtual reality. You know, I actually recommend everybody go watch Real Player. Was it Real Player 1? I think that's what it was called, wasn't it? It actually was a good movie, and it had a very important message at the end. A very important message, which I found astonishing and shocking all at once. Taking a break and unplugging. They set aside a couple days to where the whole thing would be shut down. Nobody could access it. And that's what we need to do. We need to tune out. I've practiced this, preached this for a good over 5 years now. I always take a break. I go on my little hiatuses. And take a break from everything. Tune everybody out. Tune all the social media platforms out. Reflect on everything. Why? Because it is needed. Especially those of us who do these podcasts, do research, that sometimes go down some very dark areas in those research. I don't think people understand the toll it actually takes. I don't think you understand just being a basic user that doesn't research, just scrolling through your feeds, reading everything. How much negativity that you end up subjecting yourself to. I get it. We are at that precipice where taking a break is hard to do because there's just so much going on. You want to keep people informed. You want to keep people awake and not. But I think the best message we can give for people for 2022 is to take a break. Whether it be once a week, take a break from everything. Set a day aside where there's no internet, no news, no social media platforms. Enjoy a regular day of life, whether it be outside with friends and family, having a drink at the bar, going out to eat, anything, but being on your phones and on the computer or on your TVs and flipping over to whatever mainstream media of lies that you tune into. Tune it out for a day or two each week. And I'll promise you this, you'll start to feel better. You'll start to feel healthier. It's a sad reality that we live in when the very tools that they've gotten us addicted to using are the very things that make us sick, that bring us down, and we're not even so really aware of it consciously, but on the subconscious level, that's where it affects us the most. Most people don't realize the images they look at, the memes. All the memes are fun, aren't they? But there's people out there that know how to use those memes in an esoteric way to influence you, to manipulate you, to attack you. Imagery is dangerous in many levels. Because it's not what you physically see that's in that image. You do not know the intent that the person had when they created that image, that meme. I think we're still a couple of years away from the metaverse fully rolling out. That is going to be, oh my God. We think we got a bunch of brainwashed people walking around right now. Oh boy. When that comes out, I mean, that right there is bypassing your conscious mind and going right straight to your subconscious. That is instantly going right to your psyche. It is wow. I hate to see the world when that fully comes out. Because unfortunately, like many good things that can be good things, end up in the wrong people's hands and they're used for nefarious reasons. And it's not the good and the betterment of the people. Those that are aware that know, well, they know how to use it. It's like, I'm not opposed to AIs. Why? Because they're learnable, they're programmable, they're teachable. Careful what you create. Because as human beings, that's our purpose, is to create, whether it be life or other things. Everybody says, oh, magic's happening. Everybody practices magic. We don't create. We create something. Whether we create a dream, the American dream, to make things better for our next generations, so they have it better than what we had it. Or we create life, the future generation. You said 2021. I don't know. It depends on your perspective. I've enjoyed it. Maybe it's because I've worked so much that I haven't had time to tune in and had more time to myself. But I did a lot more things this year. I spent more time outside, fishing, hiking, kayaking. Meeting new people, making new friends. Great relationship while it lasted. Me and the dating game just don't seem to work. But I enjoyed it while it lasted. I have no regrets of anything this year. Maybe I would have. Yeah, I do. I wish I would have worked a little less. I paid for it at the end of the year. But I've accomplished so much. I actually accomplished more than I ever intended for this year. More happier than I have ever been. Which is weird considering this past month, but I'm still happy. I'm not reflecting on the negative things. You can't. You learn your lessons and you move on. You keep the lessons and you remove the negativity, and that's it. On to a new year, which I am looking forward to. Honestly, don't got a clue. Haven't made no plans. Haven't made no resolutions. Not going to. I've gotten back to more of me, the old me. More spontaneous, living each day to the fullest. The carpe diem. It works for me. Let things fall in place as they may. And I think it's the attitude to have in this time of age. I'm sure there's plenty that disagree with me, but it goes back to what I've stated this year. Know thyself. You know what works for you. And that's the important thing. That's the little trick they use. They don't want you to use what works for you. They don't want you to free yourself from things. Because once you start doing that, it makes it that much harder to divide you. And this is true. You would draw people to you that are like-minded, they're drawn to you. The biggest thing people fear is change in the unknown. When you learn to stop fearing those things, nobody can control you. Nobody can manipulate you, not easily. There's people out there that still can. but only for a short time. We're starting to see people now this year question more things than they ever have. And that's a good thing. Those are the things we want to see. The more you start questioning things, the more you start freeing yourself. Yes, some people come from the school of hard knocks and have to learn things the hard way. Yeah. And we're starting to see that too. People are getting tired of being told, well, you gotta have a third or a fourth shot. Now you gotta have a booster. Oh, that's like a battery. It only lasts so long. It's gotta be recharged. No, we're tired of hearing that crap. We're tired of being bullied and threatened by the very people we elect, who are only out to destroy this country. You know, I've stated in past few podcasts, I don't expect 2022 to be any better. In fact, I expect it to be much worse. And I still stand by that, but it might be much worse. It's not going to affect me. I'm not going to allow it. I'm still going to make positive things, outcomes come. Why? Because they don't control me. I control me. And that's the attitude, the mentality I am bringing the new year in with. I'm stubborn to a fault. I'm a rebel to the fault. You knock me down, I'm getting right back up, coming at you twice as strong. I will not stay down. I will not bow down. You start threatening my livelihood, and I will push back. And I'm very creative in how I push back. Now, having decided what's going to be in store for this channel for next year, what it will be will be. It's as simple as that. The channel ain't going nowhere. Still gonna do me. But other than that, I don't know. Some things might change. But some things will stay the same. The one thing that's going to stay the same is that I'm going to continue to speak my mind freely. Continue to give my opinion and views on things as I see fit. I'm going to continue to sit here and question things and make you think. And I'm going to keep making sure that this channel doesn't become an echo chamber. That I don't fall into the echo chambers. Because we have a habit of doing that. And when we do that, we miss out on a lot of things. We find out some of the things we're talking about isn't as what we perceive them to be. You know, this year is all about, the last few years have been all about stepping outside the boxes. Learning. Interacting with more people. different circles, which I've always been good at. I'm a chameleon. I fit in almost every circle. I blend into my surroundings quite well. It's one of my greatest gifts. And sometimes I'm just that quiet observer. I enjoy being that quiet observer. You see so much, you hear so much. But I've gotten to where I enjoy, like being in line, just open up a conversation with people in line. I also enjoy being in stores, listening to what people are saying. You start to realize that there's a lot more people like us out there than we thought. There's a lot more people out there that get it. And I look for those that don't get it. Because it's good to have conversations with the opposites. Because they make you question things and think. It's needed. We do need opposition. We do need different opinions and views on things to stimulate our growth, to stimulate us the ability to keep questioning things, question our things of ourselves and things we know. Because that's what we should be doing. That's what we need to be doing. Yeah. Each of us has our own choices and decisions we're making. Whatever they are, we should learn to respect each other's peoples. That's the problem we don't. I've gotten into a lot of tough, I've actually said a lot of tough, harsh things this year on this channel. Because you know what? And this is lessons learned throughout life from my own personal perspective. Sometimes tough love is needed. 90% of the things, yeah, I'll say 90. 90% of the things I do will always be done out of love. It may not seem that way. Might not sound like that, but it is. Now, the other 10%, that's just my big for less. Being me. I mean, I actually knew last this month, yeah, I've been in a pretty dark spot. You won't notice it. Why? Because it's not needed to be shown. I'm quite good at hiding those things anyway. I let people see what they want to see anyway. That's always been my philosophy. But I always look for positive things in life. I always find a way to take time, no matter how many hours I put in a day, whether it be 13, 14, or 11, 10, or it's 10 no matter what hour, to take time and smell the roses. Or, choose not to reflect on things at that time. Just block it out, which that's not healthy. Don't do that, but that's me. That falls under the categories do as I say, not as I do. Because there's a lot of things that I say that I definitely don't practice what I preach. I'm just not wired that way. I love simplicity, but me and simplicity don't get along. Me and complexity and chaos get along just fine. That's simplicity to me. Something simple, oh no. That'll throw a monkey wrench in my brain for months. You actually ask people that know me, they'll tell you that. In fact, there's a standing joke that I'm not going to mention on here because it probably throws some flags up. But I thought it was funny at first until I actually realized the truth of it. It wasn't so funny then, but it was the truth. I'm just better at complex things. But I enjoy simplicity. I really do. I enjoy the simple things in life, which usually means you don't get your wants a lot of the time, majority of the time. You get your needs covered, not so much of your wants, but you find other things that are so much more enjoyable than some of those wants. So I guess there's a silver lining there. But those are the things, that make each day unique and different. And those are that's some of the mindsets that I'm going to continue taking on into 2022. Because those are the things that's going to help us get through the next couple of years. I thought about today, what I was going to discuss today. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let whatever comes out come out. I'll let the alcohol do the talking for once. And honestly, I'm not in the mood to drink tonight either. I already put the Jaeger back in the freezer. I haven't even opened it. I'm enjoying a couple. Probably the only thing I drink. The last of my Crown Peach. Because honestly, I don't think I'm going to make it to the ball drop. I'm not in the mood. I guess as you get up there older, being festive, wanting to be out, partying with friends and stuff. I don't know. I'm thinking about Monday's coming around the corner and it's back to work. Thinking about how I'm going to get by for the next couple of weeks. Although I got a great landlord, he's gonna really look into my electric bill, because he said there's no way my electric bill should have been that high. In fact, he should have said it should have been half of what theirs was. Because a week shutdown, I only get paid for New Year's and Christmas, so yeah, that kind of sucks. Thankfully, a lot of the big bills aren't due till the following week, with this, which will be a full paycheck, but with that electric bill sitting there. This month, January, is going to suck. At least the first couple weeks of it, first 3 weeks of it. But all things work out. Will work out. It always does. I learned to have that mentality a very long time ago. Yeah, it'll all work out. And it does. Somehow, some way, it all works out. Don't know how. A lot of times I really didn't know. But hey, it does. It does really all work out. You know what, guys? I'm actually going to end this stream. I'm going to kind of want to enjoy my own personal thoughts for the night. I want to wish you guys all a happy New Year's. You guys be safe. Just remember, this year's over with. Leave the negativity or all the bad things behind. Is next year going to be any better? Probably not. But we have the say in that. We have the say in how we make 2022. We can make it miserable, or we can make it the best year we've had. Just by our own choices and our own thoughts and mentality. If we choose to keep focusing on the negative, then it's not going to be a good year. But if we choose to think on the simple things, take time to smell the roses, focus on the positive things that come about our way, it's going to be a great year. Like I said, I'm not going to take what's this month's done. It's done. It's over. This year's over. This year, for all that it's worth, was a great year for me. And that's what I focused on. The lessons learned, I take them with me so mistakes aren't repeated. That I learn from them. And I look to make 2022 an even better year. Why? Because that's my will. That's my choice. And nobody can take that away from me. Only I can. I am the only stumbling block in the road. If I let myself be. You guys all have a good night. Enjoy your celebrations. Those that are out there smoking, smoke one for me because I can't. I love my job, so sacrifice I make. Especially now where CBDs don't seem to be working. At the 1,000 milligram range, and my damn body likes to build tolerances too quick for things. I'll have to take a couple months break, 3 months break from those before they actually work again, and it'll be just a short period of time. But it's a new year, and quite frankly, I shouldn't have to do the 13, 14-hour days this year like I did last year. Blessing. I'm going to actually enjoy this coming new year. I've got plans. I've thought some of them through, or I have ideas in my head, things I really want to do. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to 2022, as we all should be. No, it's not going to be an easy one, but I don't have to focus on that. Not yet, anyway. You guys all be good. Be safe. I want to see you guys and hear you guys tomorrow and the days to come. So, if you're out there drinking once more, please get a designated driver. If you guys are depressed, need to reach out, please reach out to someone. And truthfully, I've lost enough people in the last couple of years. Don't want to lose no more. That's a fact of life. It's going to happen. But if it can be prevented, there's a hotline out there. Call the number. Reach out to your friends. DM me. You have to. Once you're around for a while, I gotta suffer in this miserable world, so do you. But I'll tell you what, we're gonna make it exciting. You guys enjoy. Good night and Happy New Year's.